Salute Raider Nation. Primos Preview Saturday. Let's get it. What's going on, Raider Nation? It is Raider Ed back again, representing Raiders Primos. We're doing this one solo today. We got Raider Nate. He is at work right now, but we're not going to stop giving you guys some Raiders Primos talk. As always, on the way in, please think about hitting that subscribe button. We are at 411 subscribers, you guys. Let's get the road to 500. Also, hit that like button on the way in and also hit the bell so you guys are not missing anything in the future. Salute to my guy, Sean Johnson. He has been on top of really being, like I said, the Raiders Ian report of Raiders content creating. Sean has been sending me notes after notes after notes, getting this live ready. Me and him have been having some discussions of what is some notes that is really going to go into the show today, and also just some thoughts that I want to talk to you guys about. We are going to preview the Raiders and the Dolphins game that is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And then we're also going to give our full reaction about the Chris Sims comments. And then, is this a must-win game for our Las Vegas Raiders? We're going to dive right into that. But salute to Sean Johnson. And salute to the three people who are pulling up. Guys, send the link around. Send it to anyone you know that loves to talk Raiders football. And let's talk about it. So let's talk about last week, you guys. The Raiders beat the Jets 16-12 in the Sunday night game. And I wanted to talk about our defensive backs real quick, because the defensive backs are going to have their hands full against this Miami Dolphins speed. You got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, that you are going to have to cover. That is not even just tying into the other weapons they have in Raheem Mostert and the other backs in that backfield. The Raiders DBs in coverage this season: Nate Hobbs at 215 snaps is targeted 37 times, gave up 26 completions, 195 yards, and a TD scored on him, and has a quarterback rating given up of 80.3. He does have one interception and 6 pass breakups this season. Marcus Peters, on 369 snaps, is 29 for 43. He's given up 287 yards with 3 touchdowns given up, and is a quarterback rating when targeted 99.7. He has an interception on the season with 5 pass breakups, giving up 1 touchdown, or has a touchdown, and has 3 dropped INTs. Amik Robertson, 205 snaps, targeted 30 times, given up 19 completions, 227 yards given up with 1 touchdown given up. When targeted, he has 69.7 quarterback rating, has 2 interceptions with 5 pass breakups. Jacorian Bennett, the rookie, 196 snaps played, 31 times targeted, 21 completions given up with 270 yards given up 1 touchdown, has a quarterback rating when targeted 98.7, has 4 pass breakups. We have Tyler Hall at 67 snaps. He's targeted 8 times, completion 6 times, 43 yards, 87 quarterback rating when targeted, 3 pass breakups. Trayvon Merrick has 383 snaps played, 27 times he's been targeted, 22 completions given up, 207 yards given up with 3 touchdowns given up. And when targeted, he gives up a 104.8 quarterback rating, has 2 interceptions, 6 pass breakups, and 2 dropped interceptions. Marcus Epps, on 381 snaps, is targeted 17 times, completed 14 times on him, 102 yards when targeted, and gave up 1 touchdown. and the quarterback rating is 116.2 when targeted, and he does have two pass breakups. So you guys, I bring that up because it seems our cornerbacks are going to have it on full lockdown. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is if you could have Amik Robertson playing in the slot, and then I would like Jacorian Bennett to kind of be that. I don't want him to follow Tyreek Hill, but have him on Waddle or Hill. You need to match speed for speed. Marcus Peters isn't the Marcus Peters of old. You can possibly put Nate Hobbs on Waddle or Tyreek Hill, but I would like to have Nate Hobbs stay in the slot. We could put Jack Jones, our newly picked up corner from the Patriots. We could have him come in on defensive plays and shift him onto Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. I would love that. You got to go speed for speed, but it's the back end that I'm worried about. Trayvon Merrick and Marcus Epps. We haven't given up a lot of big plays, you guys, but when those two guys are targeted, that quarterback rating is very, very high, and Trayvon Merrick has been struggling in coverage. He's given up 3 touchdowns on the season when he is targeted. And Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, those are 2 wide receivers that can take a 7-yard route and make it a 75-yard touchdown. So our safeties are really going to have to buckle up and bring there is no room for error when you are facing the Miami Dolphins. And then also shout out to PFF Las Vegas Raiders on Twitter. They put out a defensive stat, and it says here, you guys, the Raiders defense has allowed a touchdown on just 3 of 35 drives since week 8. That is 8.6% of the Raiders defense getting scored on touchdown wise. It ranks first in the NFL. Now, I'm going to be honest, you guys, this is when reality is going to kick in. This Miami's Dolphins team, I'm not going to act like, this defense is going to go out there and completely shut down this offense. They are not. This offense can move on the ground and in the air. So that stat is likely going to change this tomorrow. And I would say we got to try to hold the Dolphins under 24 points, 27 if we're lucky, because this is an offense that can score at will, you guys. I believe they are number 1. Shout out to, I was watching Graphs and Hammer's show earlier. Shout out to Hammer. He brought up a stat that, well, actually the Dolphins fan brought up a stat, and the Dolphins are number 1 in motion, pre-snap motion. And that is, here's what I'm worried about. We have a lot of rookies playing, or I wouldn't even count Tyler Hall as a rookie. We have a lot of young guys playing in the back end and with the cornerbacks position. You got Nate Hobbs, who is in his 3rd year, Amik Robertson in his 3rd year. You got Jacorian Bennett, rookie, Tyler Hall in his 2nd year, undrafted. You got Trayvon Merrick going into his 3rd year also. This can really get really spooky real quick. The motions, I'm hoping they're preparing for the motions in practice, because these DBs, if they are not on the same page and these motions start tripping them up, you don't want to leave a guy like Tyreek Hill wide open, Jalen Waddle wide open. You got to account for all wide receivers on the field, and that's including the backfield also for the Miami Dolphins. Josh Dubois tweeted out, speaking of our corners, Josh Dubois tweeted out, Raiders' Nate Hobbs comes in at number 3 in this ranking of slot defenders. Around the NFL tweeted that the Next Gen Stats Analytics team ranks the top 10 slot defenders entering Week 11 of the 2023 NFL season. While one veteran stands out above the rest, a rookie is clearly making an immediate impact on the league. Nate Hobbs ranks number 3 in this top 10 ranking. So let me know what your guys' thoughts on the game in talks of the passing game. I want to get your guys' thoughts. With the corners, what do you think, what type of defense we need to play with our corners? Should the corners play press up and try to bump and run these receivers, or should they play back? I know a lot of people have not really been too fond about Marcus Peters and, the rest of the corners playing about 8-10 yards off of the line of scrimmage. I think this is the game, you guys, that the Raiders corners have to give space to these receivers. You have to respect their speed. And if you try to bump and run these receivers, you are likely going to get burned because you're not AP. Antonio Pierce said it best, you guys. We're not going to outrun these receivers. We cannot go into this game thinking I'm faster than these receivers. Because let's be honest, we are not faster than these receivers. We are not faster than these running backs. This team as a whole has speed everywhere on that offense. And it is going to be the Miami's offense versus the Raiders defense. And the Raiders defense has to come to this game and play. And we are going to shift it now to the offense. But first, let me acknowledge you guys. Sean Johnson says most of that was under McDummy. New stats under Pierce. I hear you, Sean. I hear you. Super Omicron says Primos. They will have to work over the top, especially on Peter's side. They must tackle, especially on Mostert. Super Omicron, and that is a fact, bro. Because here's the thing: we've been having a lot of missed tackles. That has been the problem of this Raiders defense: is missed tackles. They cannot stop the run at all either. I believe they ranked number 30, they're 31st in the league in stopping the run. So Mostert can have a big day. And also, I believe their other running back, I don't know his name, that the rookie running back that they have. He just Devon Acne. He's been active for, I think that's how Ashney. I think that's how you say his last name. He is now active for tomorrow's game. So it's going to be interesting to see how they mix up Mostert and Ashney in the lineup. But they both are home run hitters. They can take a ball 80 yards and take it to the house. Our defense is going to have to stop those gaps. And just like Super Omicron said, our guys are going to need to tackle. It has to stay within 30, or it is going to be a long-ass day. And Super Omicron, that's what I'm saying. I think if we can hold them under 30 or below, we have a really good chance at winning this game. I know many people are probably going to kill this defense tomorrow because they're giving up, 20, 24, 27 points possibly, probably a yardage that they're going to give up. I know they're going to get killed, but our offense has to come and play. Our offense has to come and play. All I know is the 0-3 versus teams with winning records and 6-0 against teams with losing records. Let's see how it plays out. And you're right, Super. You're right. Sean Johnson said, we did hold Detroit to 26 points with McDummy. So we have yet to see what we will do under Pierce, Graham, and Bo Hardegree. What I do love is Miami really couldn't study really for us. We haven't opened up that playbook. Bo Hardegree, I think, is going to open up that playbook more. And Sean, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. And let me actually turn on you guys. Give me 1 second. There we go. That's what I was looking for. The rushing leaders through week 10, you guys. Let's get into the running attack for the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Miami Dolphins defense. The rushing leaders through week 10, you got 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey with 747 yards, ranking at number 1. At number 2, Titans Derrick Henry. Number 3, Raiders Josh Jacobs with 622 yards. And he's not too far behind Henry, who has 625 yards. That is very, very impressive considering the start that Josh Jacobs had on the season, not really getting a lot of running room. So he still can reach over 1,000 yards, you guys. Could he win the title again? Possibly. But just being at 622 yards and top 3 in yards on the season, very, very impressive. Jacobs was near the bottom halfway through the season. Just 2 weeks later, he is top 3, and it's because McDaniels never asked him once what runs he likes to run. Antonio Pierce and his staff instantly asked Jacobs what he likes, and he then rushes for 98 yards and 116 yards in 2 games. My goodness, you guys. Let's talk about this running game. Josh Jacobs is going to be the heart of this game. I'm telling you, if we do not run this football and we abandon the run game, like we've done in past games, even if it, for me, if it's not even like going, if it is getting stopped in the backfield, you still try to run the football. Now, I get it. There's only so many times you can run the football, but you cannot abandon it. You cannot put Aiden O'Connell in a position where it is going to have to be on his back. Now, I do believe this is the game that Aiden O'Connell has to show up. He has to really put this team on his back. We can't really see what he did against the Jets and what he did against the Giants. That is not the type of outing I believe he needs to have for this game. I think this is the type of game we need to see Aiden O'Connell sling the football and also get at least 3 or 4 touchdown passes and contribute to scoring for the Raiders offense. It cannot be all on Josh Jacobs. You got to run the football with Josh Jacobs, but you got to have a balanced attack also, and you also have to keep that offense off of the field. Salute to AJ. What's good, brother? And going into the Raiders offensive line, a lot of people have been shitting on our offensive line, saying that it is possibly one of the worst offensive lines in the league, that we suck, we're so bad, we're giving up too many quarterback hits. Guys, it is the NFL. The Raiders blocking versus the New York Jets in passing. Jermaine Illuminor, or blocking in general. Jermaine Illuminor, he had 3 pressures, gave up a quarterback hit, had a 60% grade on run blocking with a 60% or 60.8% on pass blocking. Dylan Parham has 0 pressures, had a 38 run block grade and 75 pass block grade. Andre James had 3 pressures, 1 sack, quarterback hit, had a 59.8 on the run block grade, 54 on the pass block grade. Greg Van Roten has 0 pressures, 66.8 on run block, 86.8 on pass block. Darren Mumford had 5 pressures, 1 sack, quarterback hit, and was 85.8 on the run block grade, 46.6 on the pass block grade. Amir Abdullah gave up 1 pressure. Austin Hooper had a 72.9 run block grade, 74.3 pass block grade. Michael Mayer has 75 run block grade and a 53.2 pass block grade. And Josh Jacobs had a 79.9 pass block grade. So the offensive line, I believe for the passing of the offensive line, in passing plays, this offensive line is getting very, very better at protecting Aiden O'Connell. But this is also the game when the run blocking needs to step up. They need to open up holes for Josh Jacobs, but also Josh Jacobs needs to stop dancing in the backfield and just hit the hole. Run it up the gut. You got to get as much yardage as you can with the Miami Dolphins defense and also keep the chains in your favor. And now let's go back to our defense, you guys. I want to give a shout out to Robert Spillane and shout out to the Raiders Rap on Instagram. Robert Spillane, this is his stats for the 2023 season so far. He has a 79.3 PFF grade, which is 11th in the league amongst linebackers. He has 82.1 run defend grade, which is 8th, and an 83.4 pass grade, which is 5th. He has 69.1 in coverage, which is 14th. He has given up 0 touchdowns, which is 1st. He has 3 interceptions, which was tied for 1st. His quarterback rating allowed is 61.5, which is 1st. 14 pressures, which is 2nd, and is 3rd in sacks with 3, and has 29 stops, which ranks 10th in the league. Now, if that doesn't equal dog for Robert Spillane, I don't know what does. Robert Spillane has been that one diamond in the rough. He is my MVP of that defense so far. Let me know what you guys think. Like Robert Spillane, a lot of people was not thinking that Robert Spillane was going to be one of our best linebackers. And me and Nate have said it time and time again that this linebacking group is likely going to be the weakest link of this Raiders defense. And right now, they are the strongest link of this defense. And it is all thanks to Robert Spillane. Sean Johnson says this game is the test in Aiden's development. See how far he's coming along. If we are down, can he make a comeback with a touchdown to win the game? if that's the situation. He needs this type of game growth. And Sean, I agree with you. This is an exact type of game. What are we going to see out of our quarterback? AJ, the NFL really finding JJ back-to-back weeks for playing football. How do they expect running backs to break tackles? And yeah, you guys, like AJ said, Josh Jacobs was fined earlier today, 21,000. I believe it was 21,000. I have it right here. Yeah, 20. The NFL. Shout out to Raider Resistance on Instagram. The NFL fined Raiders star running back Josh Jacobs again, docking him $21,855 for unnecessary roughness on this run last week versus the Jets. It's the same amount Jacobs was fined for a similar play last week. The league has made lowering the head an emphasis, and the fines keep coming. So I'm actually gonna share my screen, you guys. And I'm going to show you guys what play it was. Let me see. Here you go. This is the play that got Josh Jacobs fined, $21,855. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this is the dirty play? I get it. I think, him lowering the head, and even during game time, you guys, I'm not going to lie, seeing this type of run from Jacobs, like I loved it, but I was afraid that he was going to get injured because, he took a really big hit when he was lowering the shoulder. So I can't understand why he got fined for this. I mean, he's initiating the contact, just hoping for future games that Jacobs can get the head out from breaking those tackles. I kind of understand where the NFL is leading with this, because JJ does have to get his head out from breaking those tackles. But I will say AJ, you're right. He's running down the middle, can't do much but go straight. You are exactly right, AJ. I think it was really lowering the helmet. That's where it was at. But I don't know. I'm kind of in between on it. I'm going to be honest, you guys. I'm in between on it. Like I said, for me, I was worried that he was going to get injured on that play because, I mean, the sound, I think, let me see if you guys can hear it.
The Raiders into play here.
Like, it's a big.
Jacobs, first down for the Raiders into play here.
It's a big hit, you guys. But I think just for future Jacobs, try to keep the head out of the game. I like Reese Rock's comment here. He's like, for the first down, I don't give a fuck. I like that, Reese Rock. I like that. You got to get the first down any way you can. Hopefully he can do it in a better way. Try to get the head out of the game. It's for his safety. It's really for his safety. And Super, let's get into that real quick, you guys. Let's get into that. So I actually do want to really talk. I want to talk about that. And we'll preview this game a little bit more. But let me get into that, you guys. Let me get into that. And salute to you guys. We are at 412 subscribers. So again, you guys, if you guys haven't already, please think about hitting that subscribe button. And also hit that like and hit that bell so you guys are not missing anything Raiders Primos. Let me pull it up. So this is what Chris Sims had to say in regards to the Raiders taking on the Dolphins.
It's a little deceptive, 5-5. Chris, who do you have? This is where, this little fucking storybook thing we got going here, it all ends this week. It melts in the Miami sun. It melts when Tyreek Hill does his second backflip of the day after scoring a 60-yard touchdown. I just think the Miami defense is getting better. I think the week off, Miami recalibrates on the offensive side of the ball, has a few wrinkles, there that they bring to the table. I think this is a week the Dolphins, say, hey, we're back and put the Raiders in their place. 35-17 Dolphins. Raiders are 5-5.
My thing is, okay. Now, my initial reaction, I'm like, first of all, this man is taking this game a little bit personal right now. I was thinking, you're on a podcast. I get it, and it's your guys' pocket, but you're on NBC Sports. Chris Sims, have a little bit of more respect. You could say it in any other different way. If you want to say, hey, the Raiders are going to get blown out in this game, I don't think they're going to really match up against the Dolphins. There's more professional ways to keep it. But no, you want to make this game a little bit more personal, Chris Sims. So I'm going to say this. First off, keep my rate. I'm just kidding. But on a real, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say I don't really expect anything from this game. If I'm not expecting them to win, I'll say that. Am I expecting them to fight? Yes, I'm expecting the Raiders to put up a fight and it's not going to be a 35-17 blowout like this clown Chris Sims is saying. And I don't think there's any storybook going on here, Chris Sims. And also, who doesn't love a good story? So, keep the Raiders out your mouth in the future because you're a clown, your mouth is a clown, your podcast is a clown, and this is why you were what? Maybe not even a decent backup. I didn't even know you played football until I heard someone said you played football. That's pretty sad, bro. That's pretty sad because I know a lot of football players that don't play in the NFL right now, and I didn't even know you was one of them. So yeah, see you on the way out, bro. See you on the way out. But you're a clown, and I can't wait for you to cry when the Raiders do beat this Dolphins tomorrow because you are the biggest clown on this planet. AP says this game I kind of feel like might make or break our season and really will show us if Aiden is that guy or not. And AP, you're absolutely right. This is not even just for Aiden. We talked about the development for Aiden that this game can have for him. But as for a team, as for the Raiders, it can make it. This is literally a make or break for their season, AP, because the thing is, let's say the Raiders have a chance of making the playoffs. Well, you at least have to finish 7-2 on the season to make the playoffs. That gives you a 10-7 record. Anything less than that, like if you go 6-3, 5-4, you are likely going to miss the playoffs. Well, 6-3, realistically speaking, because 9-8, and I think 9-8 is more realistic, you guys. But 9-8 is not going to get them into the playoffs. I'm gonna be honest. 10-7 might not even get them in the playoffs, but 10-7, you have a better, more chance in sneaking in than at 9-8, especially the way the AFC is going around now. I know Joe Burrow, he is out for the season. Hurts my heart. He was killing it for my fantasy team. And Deshaun Watson is also out for the season. That's two playoff teams in the Bengals and the Browns that, not saying their season is done, but a lot of the wins coming up this season or coming up for the rest of the season isn't really guaranteed wins for these for the Bengals and the Browns. So that seventh spot, 6th, 5th, the wild card spots are really wide open for anyone in the AFC right now. I was thinking all 4 teams in the AFC North were going to make it, but now with the Browns and the Bengals losing their star quarterbacks, it is very, very going to be a mission. It is going to be a very, very hard road for the Bengals and the Browns to try to make it to the playoffs, which with all the AFC teams that there is, with us, the Raiders, with the Dolphins themselves in trying to lock up a wild card with the Bills. Or actually, no, Dolphins aren't first. It's actually the Bills. I'm so used to the Bills actually being good around this time of year, but they're also 5-5. The Bills beat us early in the year. The Bills are there. The Bengals are there. Like, everyone so far is still in the mix of the wild card. I think when it's going to come down to it, it's going to come down to the Bills. It's going to come down to the Raiders. And shocker, the Denver Broncos. I do believe the Denver Broncos may have a say in the wild card playoff seeding. So that last game of the season, you guys, who knows? It could be for a playoff spot. Who knows? It could be it could really be 2021 all over again. Whoever thought? Super says AP, if he gets off and converts a key. Oh yeah, they're talking about Jacobs. AJ is running down the middle. Oh yeah, we seen that. Super said ridiculous. How did the damn refs even see? Well, they didn't even call it super. It was the NFL. I think the NFL reviewed that play, and they fined Jacobs for it. AJ says, this is JJ's style of play. Bulldozing, taking that away would be all bad. That's just me, though. And I don't mind the bulldozing part, AJ. I'm just like, try to keep the head out of it. The problem is JJ is more on the smaller side. So it really is hard for him to keep the head out of the game. Because, like you said, he's trying to bulldoze over people. He's trying to truck them. It's gonna be really, really hard for him to take that out of the game at his size. And hey, you're right, AJ. Chris Sims equals McDummy. Yeah. Shout out to Street Professor for pulling up. He said Raiders are going to get physical with the Dolphins. And Street Professor, they have to. They have to be physical with the Dolphins. We've seen the way Tyreek Hill is when defenses get physical with him. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They got very physical with Tyreek Hill. And he was off his game. He had a fumble that led to possibly the game-winning touchdown because the Chiefs offense couldn't really do anything in the second half. So Street Professor, not only from a defensive standpoint, but the offensive line, like this is where the run game plays a part in this. Getting physical in the run game with the Dolphins. You got to put that defense, you got to keep them on their toes, keep them on their shoes, because you want to open up the passing game for guys like Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Trey Tucker, and Jacoby Myers. They got Xavier Howard and Javon Holland and Jalen Ramsey in the back end to cover that. But I think we have that firepower to go toe-to-toe with the Dolphins offense. Getting in a shootout isn't my idea. As if I was Raiders offense, this defense has to step up. He was on said, gente dan bruta. People don't think the team will this week. Oh, you're right, Arroyo. You're right. Arroyo, you are right. Like they have to get physical. Super Omicron says, Chris Sims sometimes says good things. And Super, I know. You know what's funny? Is I remember I went to a game. It was the Buffalo Bills at the Oakland Raiders, and I always record the games I go to. You know, I like to hear what the commentators had to say about the game. And funny enough, this was back in 2014. Chris Sims actually commentated that game, and he had a lot of good things to say about the Raiders. And of course, that was like 9+ years ago. But that's what I remembered him. I was like, yo, this dude, I remember him now. I remember this irrelevant person. I had, not a much nicer word to say about Chris Sims. And my mama told me if I had nothing nice to say, then just don't say it at all. But yeah, I was like, man, this nobody really commentated our game. Wow. That's crazy. And that was the last time I even heard of him commentating. He then went to NBC, and I still don't hear about him. So I think he's just trying to get relevant. He's trying to get relevant. And he's going to get relevant when someone records him crying because our storybook didn't burn up in the Miami Heat. Super Omicron says, yeah, let's see if the Raiders get fired up. Need this locker room material. You know what, Super? I said, I guarantee the Raiders seen that clip, though. Seen the clip of Chris Sims, and I hope this fires them up. That no one is counting them out. No one is counting them out. With the coaches. Antonio Pierce, I don't know if you guys seen in a presser, it was like a talk show. Antonio Pierce said that the Miami Dolphins are just like us. They got to get up early. They got to strap their helmet. They got to put one leg in to put their, pants on. They got to put the pads on. They're just like us. And they got to go on Sunday and play a football game. What makes them different from us? Yeah, they got the speed. They're a football team. What do you expect? And I love that mindset. And it shows me that with everyone counting them out, saying they're not going to win this game, the Raiders are not counting themselves out. They know any given Sunday they can go into somebody else's stadium and they're gonna leave it all on the field. AP said, Buddy must have a crazy parlay on the game or something. Because what the yeah, I don't know if it was something in the past, like if he lost a parlay, but he took it personal. Super said, "I'm not expecting them to win. Primos, we coming back at you next week if they do. You sure you want to ride with that? Look, Super, let me explain that. I'm hoping they win. I'm hoping they win. As a Raider fan, I'm hoping they win. But as the football fan and the analyst that I'm looking at it, I'm giving them that 9. I'm part of the 9% that is choosing them to win. But it's like, man, if I put in $100, I'm walking out with like $100,000 because the odds of them winning Super is not high. That's what I'm saying. When I'm expecting it, I'm going based. Okay, what are the odds of the Raiders winning? Well, it's not that high, so I'm not expecting them to win because the odds are so high or against them for them winning this game. But I'm hoping they win. I'm gonna wake up at 10 a.m. or at 9:30 Super. I'm gonna put on the game in my TV, and I'm still gonna be screaming Raiders, and I'm still gonna get pissed if we lose, and I'm gonna be screaming my head off when we win. Look what I did there. I'm gonna get mad if we lose, but I'm gonna scream my head off when we win. See, it's when we win. That's the key, right, Super? It's when we win. AJ, like Nate Hobbs said, these fast wide receivers don't like contact. We got to be physical. And AJ, we got the defense for that. We going to get physical. Sean says, Sims is a McDaniel supporter, so he's trying to protect him, but he's a clown. Hey, Sean, you ain't never tell a lie, bro. Super Omicron says, more like 35-24 with some late scores. Let's see. I'm hoping, Super. Hey, you're right, bro. And I can see 35-31. I think 35-31 would probably be the most realistic score. If Aiden O'Connell can win a shootout going against Tua and his Miami offense, there should be no reason like Aiden O'Connell and Antonio Pierce should be the candidates for the Las Vegas Raiders moving forward as a future quarterback and as a future head coach. Now, I did say that Aiden O'Connell, no matter what season he has, the Raiders should go out and draft a quarterback. I'm going to go on the record and say if he goes out and balls out against the Miami Dolphins, we still should draft a quarterback. Reason is because you do not want to tie yourself to a quarterback that is just average. And a couple of games are not going to tell us what we have in Aiden O'Connell. If he has a great season and then he comes out next season, starts playing like shit, we got a backup that we can go to. We don't have to be tied to average quarterback play. Salute to DeMarcus Webb for pulling up. He said Chris is mad. He can't remember Gruden's plays. DeMarcus, was he the guy? Hold on. Was he the? Because I was thinking about that earlier. I'm like, wasn't Chris Sims the guy that couldn't remember Gruden's plays when he was with the Bucks? Bro, yep, he was. Bro, look at it. Look at this clown. Look at this clown. Can't remember a play.
X. Shift the Viper right.
Green right X.
Green right
Look at
X.
this clown.
Shift the Viper right. 382 X stick lookie.
Here we go, guys. Green right X. Shift the Viper right.
Look at this
382.
clown.
Y stick lookie on one. Ready? X stick lookie on one.
Let's go scatter.
Hey, maybe
west,
stop
right,
talking about
tight.
the Raiders
F
and
left.
start learning some plays, right,
372
Chris?
Y stick Z spot.
Here we go. Scatter to west right tight. F left. 382 Y stick.
Christ. Just go scatter to west right tight. F left.
Yeah.
What a clown, bro. What a clown. What a clown. That's hella funny. What a clown. Sean Super says, yeah, but why? It will be interesting. It'll be interesting if Raiders make him eat those words. I would love if if we can make Chris eat those words. Thomas says, we win, go Raiders. I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping. Super says, fun fact, Tyreek Hill was shut down by both Garyon Conley and Trayvon Mullen in losses both in Oakland, I believe. Hey, Super, we got to contain him. And you know what's crazy? I don't think we can shut Tyreek Hill down because I know he's going to get his. But can we contain them? And can we go blow for blow with the Miami Dolphins offense? That is what I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see Bo Hardgreen, Aiden O'Connell. What is the offensive game plan, and how are you guys going to attack the Miami Dolphins defense? And how are you going to keep the pedal to the metal? Because you know this Miami Dolphins offense can make this game very, very quick. And you can also lose the game very, very quick. Reese Rock. We can't lose 3 games, all the while playing the Chiefs twice, Dolphins, Chargers, and Colts. And Reese Rock, couldn't agree with you more, man. Because the thing is that I said it. You got to go 7-2 in these final games if you hope to have a shot at making the playoffs. If you lose against the Miami Dolphins, then you have to go out there and beat the Chiefs twice. Or at least you got to beat them one time. And that's not an easy task. That's really not an easy task to have. So I would rather them take care of business now, and then we worry about business next week. You don't want to be and we could blame McDaniels all we want for the 3-5 start, but I'm telling you guys, there is still some hope, but it could end real fast tomorrow. And we are going to review that game. We're going to recap that game. I'm going to try to see if I can get Nate on. We are going to go right after the game and talk about the Raiders win against the Dolphins, because I'm telling you that is happening. It's not a prediction. That is a spoiler. Sean says, our Raiders have moved up to the 9th seed after this past Thursday night. And let me see, Sean, in fact, I think you sent it to me. I'm going to see if I can pull it up. I know I believe you sent it to me. Yeah, you did. So here is the seating, you guys. I'm going to actually share my screen. Here's the seating, you guys, currently for the playoff seating. Now, if we beat Miami, they dropped 6-4, and we move up 6-5. If you have Houston losing, they'll drop to 5-5. We've moved to that. We need Houston and Indianapolis to lose, and I believe we move up to that 7th seed if they lose this weekend, and we beat the Dolphins. That Pittsburgh game is stinging right now, because if we would have had beaten the Steelers, I think we haven't had our bye yet. The Raiders could have been over the Steelers once we have that bye. But that Pittsburgh Steelers game, I'm hoping it doesn't bite us at the end of the season. But root for Houston, or it'd be funny if they let me see if they play each other. That would be very funny if they play each other. Let me see. So the Colts. The Colts are on a bye week. And then for For Houston, I think Houston's on it. No. Houston is playing the Cardinals. Damn. Kyler Murray, I hope you haven't been playing a lot of Call of Duty. Please help brothers out of the nation and whoop some Texas ass. Salute to the Cardinals. Super Omicron. Let me tell you something. If we lose, I wanted to be against the Dolphins, but not the Chiefs. I'm hoping AP got some good cooking. That was actually the best game the Raiders played versus Kansas City in that loss. And super, right? Like that Monday night game last year, I was really hoping we somehow pulled that game off just because of how close and tight we played Kansas City in that game. And also because I wanted Patrick Mahomes to shut the hell up. They need to slam that guy on his back. Super Omicron says, I say we split Chiefs, Chargers, beat the Colts 2-2. What say you? I think I do agree with that. I think we beat the Chargers. I think we could split with the Chiefs. It is going to be that home game. We lose that that game against the Chiefs at Allegiant. We're getting swept until they can show me that we can beat them in Arrowhead. And we almost beat them in Arrowhead, but the thing is, we almost beat them. We didn't beat them. So unless they can show me we can beat them in Arrowhead and it's on Christmas Day, please, for the love of Jesus, for the love of football, I hope our Christmas Day ain't ruined, man. Reese Walk. We win these next 2 games. We're top 5 or 4. We're top 4 or 5. I think 5, Reese Rock. If we win these next 2 games, we'll be in either the 5, 6, or 7 seed because Kansas City will still have the AFC West on lock. Or not on lock, but still in first. Go 1-1. We're the 8th, 10th seed. Lose both. We're 12, 14. This our season, these next 2 to 3 games. And Reese Rock, you are absolutely right, brother. You're absolutely right. These next 2 games, I don't think a lot of people know how big these games are. Now, like I said, are we expecting them to win? It's a really tall task to ask for these Raiders after all what they've been through in this entire season. But they're coming off of back-to-back wins against the Giants and the Jets. Again, not 2 big teams that jump off the map and that's confidence boosters. I know the offense went against a very, very tough Jets defense. So that probably in itself will be a confidence booster going against the Dolphins defense tomorrow. Super says again, win Chiefs, major upset. Lose Chiefs, close game, some ref BS. Beat Colts, beat Chargers, lose Dolphins, 3-2 record. Yeah, I think we touched on that. Let me see. Let me explain. I'm hoping they win, but the analyst is I'm noping they win. Yeah, when we win, Super, I want us to win. It's not like I don't want them to. I want them to win. I'm hoping they win. I want them to go shock the world. But I don't want to feed you guys false narratives either. Like, we're the better team because on paper, we're not the better team. And we haven't been playing like the better team. Like, we gotta be honest with ourselves, man. We got to be honest with ourselves, but we are going to win this game. We are going to win this game. The fan of me saying that. We're going to win this game. And I'm going to come on here and be losing my shit because we won this game. And like Orlando said, if they win, I will be happy as F. Why? Because, bro, we just beat the Miami Dolphins, a playoff caliber team. The confidence boost that it can give this team going into next week against the sorry-ass Chiefs. I'm hoping they win. They need this win to ignite a fire inside this team that we never seen before. Reezy Ross said, when we win tomorrow and the Chiefs lose, I want Buck Wild, Captain Insano, loud and crazy all game versus the Chiefs at home. Talk that talk, Reese. I like that talk, Reese. That's what we do at the Real Raiders Talk. AP says the offense is going to have to be way better than it was last week because we did play a little slow last week. My fear is seeing another 6-sack game on Aiden because Miami's pass rush can go crazy. In AP, that is when the run game comes out in the game plan. Why? Because you got to take the pressure off of Aiden O'Connell. That is the one thing Josh McDaniels did not do against the Chargers. He put Aiden O'Connell out really there to die because the running game started picking up in the second half, and then he went away from it. Aiden O'Connell even said it, that he felt that they were running the football very efficiently in the second half. If they can do that against Miami, That should take the pressure off of Aiden O'Connell, and it actually should open up the playbook for Aiden O'Connell to be successful. Sean Johnson says, I think we get to evaluate Aiden the rest of the season. We will have our answer in a very deep quarterback draft, whether we pick one early or later in the draft. And Sean, I agree with you. This is a very, very deep quarterback class. And a lot of people are freaking out like, oh, like if we, win so many games, we're out in the Caleb Williams stakes. My thing is we be out of the Michael Penix, like the race, the Michael Penix race. That's where I'm like, damn, we'll be out of that race. But there's a lot of other quarterbacks in this draft, you guys, that are coming out. There's Sean Johnson's putting me on Cameron Ward out of Washington State. That is and he's like at the bottom of the projections when it comes prospect rankings for quarterbacks. But he's a very, very sneaky quarterback that we should keep our eye on. This quarterback class is very, very deep, you guys. It is very, very deep. Okay, like we need to stop losing our shit. Okay, not every quarterback that is number one, number two, and I'm even saying this for myself because I like Michael Penix Jr., but not all the time an early round quarterback is the savior of your organization. It rarely happens. Rarely happens. They may give you 1-2 good seasons, and then after that, they disappear. Look at Baker Mayfield. Went to 4 or 5 teams in the span of 2 years. Doesn't always work. Sometimes you got to grab the guy with the chip on the shoulder. So they are like the Las Vegas Raiders. Prove the NFL wrong. Prove that you belong to be there in the playoffs. Reese Rock, run 5 different DBs at Tyreek. Have 2-3 different combo coverages. Keep them guessing. And Reese Rock, exactly, bro. Exactly, man. The defense can't play vanilla. Patrick Graham cannot call this game trying to not get beat. Just call your coverages, but switch them up and keep the offense guessing. You got to make Tua. One thing about the Dolphins is Tua's a one-read quarterback at the moment. That's what the offense is built on. It's built on timing, slant routes, deep routes, but mainly on the speed of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. If you can disrupt that timing, our DBs should be picking off 1 or 2 passes from Tua. Reese Rock said, I'm going to have PTSD of missing the playoffs by 1 game, thinking about Chicago and those in the Pittsburgh game. Yeah, Reese Rock, that's where I'm at. That I feel like that Pittsburgh game those 2 games are I hope they don't hurt, bro. I hope they don't hurt. Super Omicron says, draft a quarterback like Bo Nix or a quarterback like Brett Leonard from Duke. We ain't nowhere near Caleb Williams, even with his so-so play. Hey, Super, you're exactly right. And I like Bo Nix, and that guy had himself a game today. 6 touchdown passes in the first half. 6 touchdown passes in the first half. Sean said, DM'd me, and he said that Bo Nix was on pace to have 1,000 yards passing, 12 touchdowns in 1 game. That's crazy to me. Bo Nix is making a case for himself in this upcoming draft, and a lot of Raider Nation is sleeping on him just because when he played in the SEC, he didn't really have a success career starting at Colorado, and then he went, or not in the SEC, not at Colorado. Where did he play at? I thought he played at Colorado, but he was going to, I think it was the SEC he played in. He wasn't having because they just switched quarterbacks. And I literally had it in the back of my head. But in the SEC, you guys, he didn't play too well going against top defenses. And then, he goes to the Pac-12, plays with Oregon, and he's over there balling out. And as people know, anywhere outside the SEC, you got to kind of have – you got to really watch tape, and you got to have a benefit of the doubt because they're not playing in the NFL-ready conference. But I'm saying, F that. You go get Bo Nix. That kid is balling this season. And he balled last season. And He was supposed to actually come in. He had the opportunity to come into the draft last year, but he didn't. And it's because he knew he was going to be a late round pick. He wanted to be a first round pick. And I'm like, man, I hope you be at least a second. Come fall to us. Salute to Raider Nomad pulling up. Salute to my dog Van City. Van City Raider in the building. Super said it was like Chucky was effing with him. That was great. Oh, he's talking about the video. Yeah, that was hilarious. Raider Nomad said success against the Phins offense will happen if we force Tua to his right. And, of course, stop the run. Can't say it any better myself. Sean Johnson said rooting for Minnesota to Denver so they can go to 4-6 and Green Bay to beat LA Chargers so they fall to 4-6. And we want Philadelphia to beat Chiefs on Monday night. Then they will fall to 7-3. And Sean, I love that, but it has to start with the Raiders taking care of their business, and then we could scoreboard watch. Like, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Orlando says, I live in KC. They are cocky fans. Hey, it would be nice, Orlando. We could shut them up, right? It's going to be nice when we shut them up. Super Omicron said, wait a minute, I see Nate? You know what? That should be Raider Nate's new name. I see Nate. Van City said, KC have the worst fans in professional sports. And that says a lot coming from a Vancouver Canucks fan. We are awful. That's hella funny. Sean says, Jets D-line was way better than Miami's D-line, and we got Colton Miller back. And, you reminded me, Sean, let's get into our injury report. You just reminded me, Sean. Thank you, man, for that. For the up, and I think it's fine. I'm just waiting for it to load. Waiting for it to load. I guess we're going to wait a little while, y'all. Reese Rock, our best attribute is that we don't have a lot of tape to prepare for. Use that playoff script with different tempo, run plays, play action, deep balls, screen, make it chaos for them. It's going to be chaos in Miami, Reese Rock. It's going to be chaos in Miami. Van City said Michael Penix is playing terrible right now. If you're talking about tonight, hey, he's probably having a bad game. I'll check it out. But he's been balling. But Van City, Bo Nix he's rising. Sean Johnson's getting me on Bo Nix more. We could find a way to get Bo Nix. I wouldn't even be upset about it. Sean Johnson says right here, Bo Nix is really rising up. He has 40 touchdowns and 2 interceptions on the season. Reese Rock said, Cashier lady, you should change your team. I said, what? You should change your team. I said, what? She said, the Chief. I said, hell no. Oh, Reese Rock, that'd be my. Hey, I agree, bro. I agree, Reese. That'd be my exact reaction. Sean Johnson. Hey, what I am loving how healthy we are going into this game. We are coming into Miami fully loaded. Perfect timing, too. AP said, my problem with Bo Nix is that he is a 50-year-old super senior. He's basically Aiden O'Connell, right? That Raiders fan. Go check out the video Chris sends when he was struggling with the John Gruden play calls. Oh, yeah, that Raiders fan. We already pulled it up. Pulled it up earlier, man. Can't talk. Hey, he can't say nothing until he starts getting the playbook down, right? Ask them who the quarterback was before Mahomes. It's hilarious. 50% of them look at you like there's a quarterback before. Bro, can't stand him, man. Super says the ring around the rosy thing was disrespectful. I wish the DT jumped off sides and crowned Mahomes. I would have loved it. It's been like, I want to see Mahomes get slammed, bro. I'm hoping we do that next week. Okay, I think it's coming up. And I don't even know why I'm looking it for I have it right here. Salute to Sean Johnson, you guys. Salute to Sean Johnson for sending me the injury report. Linebacker Curtis Bowen dealing with the illness. He is active. Adam Butler, active. Max Crosby, active. Devon Diablo, he's good to go. Nate Hobbs is good to go. Colton Miller, he is questionable for tomorrow's game, but he was limited on Thursday and yesterday's practice. Dylan Parham, he's also questionable with a calf injury. He is limited on Thursday and Friday. And then we have Roderick Teamer with the hamstring. He's questionable. But for the most part, you guys, we are healthy. We are going into this game fully healthy. Miami Dolphins, you got Braxton Berrios. He's questionable. Chase Claypool, he's out dealing with the knee. Rob Hunt on their offensive line, he's out with the hamstring. You got Rob Hunt. They're all Alec Ingold. He's out. No, Alec Ingold is the one that's questionable. Sorry, you guys. It's kind of small. We got Alec Ingold. He is questionable. Rob Jones, another offensive lineman, he's out. Derwin Smith, he is questionable. Their tight end. And running back Devon Ashney, he's questionable, but there was reports that he is going to be active for tomorrow's game. So let me know what you guys think. We're going into this very healthy. Let's get into some predictions. How are you guys feeling about this game? What is your score predictions? And I know we were kind of all over the place tonight with the score predictions because I seen them in the chat, but what is your guys' final score prediction? I am thinking Raiders 35-31. That is going to be the final. Also, we do have more news to talk about with the Raiders in full takeover. Shout out to Raiders Legacy from Instagram. He said an anonymous Raiders source told DM Rusney of The Athletic that the Raiders have taken this place over, the players, and ownership is fine with it too. Rusney said that head coach Antonio Pierce has been empowering players to be themselves and voice their concerns to coaches. Meetings have moved to earlier times to accommodate the assistants' preferences, and players have more say on how they want to operate as an organization. It seems like all the players have bought into Coach Pierce and love the way he operates, and Pierce is giving them more say and is actually listening to their ideas/opinions on certain things, unlike Mr. Visor Guy. Their biggest test will come tomorrow as they travel to Miami to take on a talented Dolphins team. My reaction to that, you guys, is I'm loving that. That gives more power to the players, and you want them to tell you, like, they're on the field. They are seeing what is happening. It is nice that the players can voice, hey, we can do this differently. We can set, like Josh Jacobs getting in on the run plays. Let's do this differently on a run play. I love that. I love that. Reese Rock says, I want us to drop kick the whole team like on the Longest Yard movie. AP, I low-key have been messing with Jaden Daniels. His athleticism is really good. He got that Lamar type of playmaking. You know what sucks, AP? Jaden Daniels from LSU. I was thinking about the Florida State kid, Jordan Travis. He got hurt today, and they believe it is a horrible leg injury. So prayers for Travis out of Florida State. He is dealing with as they're calling it, a horrible leg injury. But yeah, I am liking what I'm saying out of Jaden Daniels from LSU. Van City says, like the jabroni he is, as our brother Wasted Talent would say. Orlando Padilla. I actually know people here in KC that don't know Chiefs players. All bandwagons. Super Omicron said, damn, Primo's realistic than a mofo. He keeps it real. Hey, super. I got to keep it real. But like I said, the fan in me wants the Raiders to win. And I believe we can go out there and win this game. But they can't just leave it all on Aiden O'Connell. There got to be a balanced attack. All the odds are against them. Let's go surprise the NFL. Let's go surprise the world tomorrow morning. Sean Johnson says, let the Queefs do that ring around the rosy shit with AP coach team. Someone's getting slammed. I hope it is Mahomie. Hope it's Mahomie. AP said, but if we're being honest, we need to see how these college quarterbacks play in the playoffs. That's when it really matters, like with CJ Stroud last year. He proved he was that guy against Georgia last year. And AP, CJ Stroud is having one of the best rookie seasons that I've ever seen. Shout out to Raider Nomad. You think Jakob may have been sympathetic towards Josh McDaniels? Hey, maybe. But also Raider Nomad, Jakob, for those of you guys don't know, Jakob Johnson has been released from the Raiders. He was released yesterday. I think Raider Nomad, it was more because there was no room for him. Like, Bo Hardegreen's play calling and play design is very different than Josh McDaniels. And I think Bo Hardegreen, there's no need for a fullback. And also, they didn't really use Jakob in the passing game. The reason why Alec Ingold was a really good fullback is when you put him in, the defense still had to respect him in the receiving game. When Jakob Johnson came in, he wasn't a threat in the receiving game. So, I feel like that also plays a part in the defense's crowding the box at the line of scrimmage. Is they know a fullback isn't going to beat them because he doesn't get involved in the passing game. He's only in the block, and that's predictability on the offensive part. Because if you bring him in, you're running the football. If you have him in, you're running the football. Reese Rock says Jacoby Myers is getting 2 touchdowns, or he's getting 1 touchdown, and Hunter Renfro's getting 1 touchdown. I like that. AP says Jack Jones is getting a pick 6. That was mine. AP. That's my prediction. Jack Jones is getting a pick 6. More likely, DeAndre punt return for a touchdown, and Aiden gets 3 touchdown passes. I'm hoping for it, Reese Rock. I'm hoping for it. But anyways, you guys, been over an hour. Let's talk about the game. Let's recap the game tomorrow after. So 10 o'clock kickoff for Pacific time. It is going to be 1 p.m. Eastern time. I believe it's on CBS. So Raiders at Dolphins, you guys. We're going to recap it after the game goes final. Come tune in. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell so you guys are not missing anything. And hit the like on the way out. I'm Raider Ed of Raiders Primos. And after this, Sean Johnson said, did you watch that film breakdown with Big Mike and Andy on Jack Jones? He picked Aaron Rodgers off last year. Oh, yeah, Sean, I did see that. And I actually was watching that game in person myself. And Jack Jones, the one thing that he is he's disciplined. He's not going to be too grabby. He's not going to draw a lot of flags. But he will cause some turnovers, and that's what we need in his backfield. But anyways, you guys, I'm Raider Ed, part of Raiders Primos. Again, follow us on Instagram. That is our Instagram down in the right corner. Also, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like on the way out. We are at 412 subscribers, you guys. The road to 500. Let's keep it going. I love y'all. I appreciate you guys. Raider Nation, we out. Peace.